Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the Pantofola Sirio. Now, as you can see, it comes in this Italian flag style box. All you get in the box itself are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So I'll get the shoes out of the box really quickly, get this box out of the way, and if you guys could take a quick second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the Pantofola Sirio in the Sampdoria colorway. You can see it does have a fairly unique shade of blue with your red, black, and white accents throughout. Definitely a very, very unique colorway. Some of the colorways on this shoe are quite wild actually. One that really stands out to me is the one with a white base and then the black stripes over top, giving it somewhat of a zebra pattern. To me, that's a little bit too crazy to actually wear. So something like this is still very, very unique, but at the same time, just a little bit more subtle. So the design kind of idea behind the Sirio model is that you have pretty much one single layer of calfskin leather making up the majority of the upper, and then you have these calfskin leather overlays that are there as one, a support element, as well as two, a design or visual element to the shoe. So you can see that you have these stripes going across the outside as well as the inside of the shoe, which are essentially an extra strip of leather, and they have some decent thickness to it. It's also going to make for a fairly rigid feel from right out of the box. This is one of those shoes that's going to require a substantial amount of break-in time. You also have an overlay at the heel, as you guys can see, as well as an overlay at the toe box. So durability is not going to be a major concern with this particular shoe, just because there are so many extra layers of leather on the upper. And the leather itself is very, very high quality, which is what you can come to expect from Pantofola. All of their shoes are handmade in Italy. You can see that if you look on the inside tag, it actually says made in Italy. You're not going to find any sizing or anything like that. It's just very high quality, natural calfskin leather uppers. And then probably a lot of you guys are asking, why don't they use kangaroo leather? They do have certain models that feature kangaroo leather uppers, but for the most part, Pantofola shoes tend to be calfskin just because it's an old school Italian company, and when they're making shoes that are handmade in Italy, they have to use the materials that they have access to. There's no kangaroos in Italy, so they use cows instead, and the calfskin leather used on their shoes, like I said, is top notch when it comes to quality. As far as accent stitching goes, you can see that there is a slightly lighter blue, and then of course you do have your blue laces. All of the lace holes themselves are actually metal rivets, which I think is pretty nice. So durability, again, not going to be much of a concern. The tongue itself is also all leather, as you guys can see. And on the back, you have your embroidered Pantofola logo with the 3 stars, which also is a nice little touch. The heel liner in the inside is the only piece of synthetic you will find on the shoe. It is a synthetic leather material with not much padding at all. And you guys can see the insole. It's currently glued in. I didn't rip it out. Basically, it's the same Pantofola insole you're going to find in any of their shoes. Central lacing system, I'm sure I mentioned that already. And then if you move on to the sole plate and stud pattern, this is basically the same firm ground base you're going to find on all Pantofola models. First thing you'll notice is the nylon stitching going across the entire bottom of the shoe. So again, that's not going to be an issue when it comes to sole separation. It's going to be a very, very durable shoe. And then you have that predominantly black color, your Pantofola branding, and then of course your 3 stars in white. Now, like I mentioned, this is the firm ground stud pattern. So what makes this one a little bit unique is that you do have these little extra studs here in the middle that are smaller than your standard studs going around the outside, which is kind of a unique thing. So I'm curious to see how this is going to perform on firm natural grass playing surfaces. You're also going to notice that the bottom is almost completely flat, so it will take some break-in time even for the outsole itself to kind of take shape and really mold to your feet and become nice and flexible. So that's pretty much it as far as the kind of close-up look at it, I should say, or all the technical specifications. And move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. Pantofola models are a tough sell for the simple reason that they tend to weigh a lot more than your modern kangaroo leather or traditionally styled soccer shoe, and the Sirio is no different. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at a fairly hefty 11.9 ounces. So that's more than the Copa, more than the Nike Tiempo Legend 4, more than the Puma King, more than the Nike Premier, more than the Adidas 11 Pro, which are all leather options that tend to be a little bit more popular than any of the Pantofola Doro models. Whether that's the reason why remains to be seen, but like I said, the Pantofola Doro model is a very solid option, but it also tends to weigh a little bit more than your average modern soccer shoe. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video goes, and I move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the Sirios on feet, and as you can see, it has a very distinct look with those vertical stripes going across the outside and inside of the shoe. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this particular design. Do you like it, or is it just too much? Now, as far as the overall feel of the shoe goes, from right out of the box, it definitely is relatively stiff. The leather is not broken in, and for the most part, it feels pretty bulky, simply because you have 2 layers of leather going across pretty much the entire shoe, with just some small strips kind of in between that are a little bit thinner. So break-in time is to be expected with a shoe like this, and I would expect it to take at least several hours until they start to soften up and really mold to your feet. I'm not too sure how much this shoe is going to stretch versus other Pantofola Doro models, just because you do have 2 layers of leather across pretty much the entire shoe. Now, in terms of sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is pretty much perfect. Again, I'm not too sure how much it's going to stretch. If it stretches a lot, I would say that you could go down a half size. But for the most part, I would say that these guys fit true to size. So if you are looking to get a pair for yourself, I would personally recommend going with your regular size for the best possible fit. So that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the Pantofola Doro Sirio. Obviously a very simple shoe as far as its design goes, full leather upper, classic sole plate and stud pattern, but it's also very, very unique in terms of how that leather is laid out on the upper. So I'm curious to see how the shoe is going to perform after everything is broken in and starts to feel the way it should. That may take a little while, so expect to see the full written review go up in hopefully about a month's time. If you guys are interested in seeing some high quality images of this shoe just to get a better idea as to what it actually does look like in person, be sure to check out that review page. You can find it linked down below in the description. But other than that guys, if you have any questions regarding this shoe or suggestions for other shoes you would like to see me bring in, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed today's video, as always, be sure to support the video with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description, as well as as a link to my second channel. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you haven't done so already. But other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.